Hello and welcome to another short drawing lesson. This week we're going to draw the classic Fiat 500, which is a lot harder than it looks. First thing we'll do is a front wheel over here. Next wheel is going to be 2.5 wheels further back. So there's 1, 2.5, and then next wheel. The bottom of the car is just below the centres, horizontal. Try and draw as lightly as you can at the beginning. Next we need a line that sits across the tops of both of these wheels, but quite far up from there, so about up here. It can be slightly curving. Use the sweep of your arm just to give it a slight curve. The front of the car, very small overhang at the front here. Again, you can give it a slight curve. Everything on this car has got a bit of roundness to it. It's partly what makes it so cute. And it tucks under just a bit higher than the bit between the wheels. Same at the back, the overhang is just a bit higher than the centre of the wheel. A bit more of an overhang at the back, and a sloping, curving line. It joins onto that when we do it at the top. On top of this we need another section of, it's like a cake or something, layers of a cake. So a curving front, a sweeping curve over the top. It stays a bit more horizontal as it gets down the back here. And then another one of these slopes, but stepped in slightly, so we've got a slight step in the back. This is where the back is the tricky part. If we put our door in now, we'll get an idea of where the top needs to go. So the front edge is nice and vertical, it makes it simple, just behind the front wheel there. And then the back edge, a bit more than half a wheel in from there, so about here. Again, a vertical line that continues up there just as a light guide. At this point here it starts to tilt. It's about 45 degrees, something like that, maybe a little bit steeper. And that's kind of where the roof gutter will be. So we'll put a window inside here, which has got rounded corners, so just to fill in a window shape. Don't go all the way up to your vertical line, because that's the door shut line. Then another one behind. Nice rounded corners. And at about this centre point of the rear wheel, if you come up from there, you don't want your window to go back any further than that. It curves round. You might need to turn your drawing around and have a slight curving shape going round. It's really difficult to explain. Above these windows we've got the gutter and then the top of the roof, so you want a bit of thickness here. And this is where it's really difficult, because we've got this smooth curve on the window, but there's a bit of a corner in the roof, which is really odd. So the roof needs to stay fairly flat till it gets level with the back edge of the window. And then hopefully, if everything's all right, that's where the curve, the angle changes, and you come down to kind of meet this, but again with a little step. Really difficult. So you've got a kind of slopy window in a slightly cornered roof. I don't know, it's really not what you'd expect. I hope you managed that okay. So we can put our windscreen in the front there, just to show a little bit of the thickness of it. And your bonnet can just come down to meet this point here. Phew, there's the tricky basic shape. So now we can add the fun stuff, which will hopefully make it look more exciting. So first we'll put the bottom of the door in, leave a bit of a gap between the base and the bottom of the door, because we've got some trim to go in. Just a horizontal line, curving corners, and then there's that piece of trim that goes in there. There's a door handle. There's a vertical little piece of a window divider, rear view mirror, windscreen wipers, headlights go just at the very top edge of this bottom shape. So there's a bit of chrome trim, maybe a bit of light sticking out. Small indicator below that, and then the bumper. And a bumper on the back here. Some rear view lights divided into three. You might just see the number plate light or something on there. And if you like, you can have the sunroof, fabric sunroof. And now we'll start to make it look a bit more three-dimensional by adding the shadow on the ground, showing the wheels on the far side of the car, darkening the underside so it's like it's in shadow. This is where you can start to press a bit harder. Darken the underside there. Just a few little bits of contrasty stuff, maybe a little bit of reflection on the chrome. We could have the shut line for the bonnet in there, and show the interior, just the underside of the roof, the pillar on the far side. That again will make it just feel like it's got a bit of depth. And there's a piece of trim here, the gutter, which just runs and sort of follows the window shape, but not quite. It stops just about there. So you might find it takes a couple of tries to get this one. Perhaps get a reference photo, and have a look at what happens there. It's mainly this section here that I find is really difficult, but just generally the tail end of it. But the rest of it's not too bad. It's a very cute little car. Perhaps we just show that it's got quite bulging wheel arches, so you could just show those, and maybe just some wheel nuts, 4 of those, just to put a bit of detail into the wheels. And there we have it. Hope you enjoyed that one. Quite a tricky one to start the year, but good one to experiment with. Have a great week, like and subscribe, and I'll see you for another one soon.